guys, I'm famished. And it's been one of those days at the office where I just need a pick-me-up. So in front of me is a 24-piece place setting. And it has gold rimming. It looks really, really good. But at this point, I really don't care. I just want my food. And the waiter comes in and brings ugali. For those of you who are not from East Africa, ugali is maize meal. So it is eaten with your hands. But that's not the big kahuna. I'm just like, this is just an accompaniment as we normally do it with greens, meat, or a stew. Then he brings in fish, samaki in Swahili. It's steaming hot stew and it looks so good. I'm so excited, so excited. So then I'm looking at my food and I'm just like, I'll destroy this. But there's a problem. Do I eat my fish with my fish fork? Or do I take my dinner fork and dinner knife, cut up my ugali, and eat it? If you're African, you understand that ugali is eaten, you take a piece of it into your hands, like you're playing with Play-Doh, right? And then put a bit of the stew in the ugali. Then just take a piece of the fish. Take a piece of the fish and put it in your mouth. For a hungry African girl like me, that's heaven. But there's a problem. I don't know how to maneuver around a 24-piece place setting. I just want my ugali. Ladies and gentlemen, is that what Africa is? Are we trying to be one thing and act like something else? So identity. What is identity? Identity is a state of being, a high affinity to something. So for example, if I'm South African, I'll dance to the beat of Xhosa music. If I'm from West Africa, I know what fufu is and pepper soup. I get it. So then I asked a few of my friends, what is being Kenyan? What is your Kenyan identity? And they told me, being Kenyan is on a random Wednesday morning, you get a meme that makes 0 sense. And you're just like, when did this guy make this meme? Being Kenyan is having random sayings. For example, hii jua, hii joto ni ya mvua. So for you get it, right? You get it. But if I'm not from Kenya, I won't get it. Being Kenyan is the landscape, the beauty of the animals. And if you can look around, the beauty of you guys. That's Kenya. So back to my ugali story. I'm there with my ugali and fish. But is that what Africa is? Are we a meowing cow? Took you a while. And that brings me to what does it mean to be African? So, I have a big brother. And the other day, my brother and I went and watched Black Panther. Black Panther is like the coolest movie I have watched, in my opinion. It is even bigger than Titanic. Titanic is a sob love story about a girl, of course, who falls in love with a boy. But Black Panther is simply a young African prince who comes home, he's East African by the way, who comes home to take over the reins from his dad. And we go through the highs, the lows, the throats. As I was watching Black Panther, I don't know about you, but it resonated with me. I saw Senegalese attire, Maasai attire, which was really cool, because for the longest time, I just don't relate. It's just always some random dudes, and I don't understand what they're talking about half of the time. But this time, I got it. So Black Panther has grossed over $1 billion internationally, and we're still counting. That's good. That's a lot of money. A lot of money. However, the person who directed Black Panther does not understand my reality. He does not understand that I eat fish with my hands. He does not understand a day in a matatu. And that pissed me off. It really pissed me off. So it got me thinking, how do I tell my story? Why is it that we are not seeing young Africans telling their story? So, I randomly thought one day, what is it? What is this Africanness? So Black Panther comes from a genre of art called Afrofuturism. Afrofuturism basically is the connection between art, African culture, music, dance. So I was like, okay, this is cool, but then how does it relate to me? So one, be yourself. It is the hardest thing to do, to be yourself. It is a journey. It is a walk you have to take. It is one of those days you go see your grandma and ask, what happened before independence? Being yourself means bringing out who you truly are. So for most of this talk, you notice that I smiled a lot. Sometimes I don't even realize that I smile that much. But that's who I am. I'm the kind of girl, when we're in a board meeting, and it gets a bit too long, you know those board meetings that just end up being a bit long, I start drawing butterflies, and maybe a rainbow, and if I have enough time, I'll draw a smiling sun. Because that's who I am. Being yourself means bringing the best out of who you are. See, we all have a star in us, and the world is waiting to see that star. If we are not ourselves, if we try to be Van Damme, yet you're in economics, then we will never understand that part of you that the world so much wants to see. A few years back, I suffered and overcame depression. It was one of the hardest times of my life. And one of the reasons was, I tried too hard to fit in. See, even though I'm a policy maker and I like to talk about policy development of young leaders, sometimes I like having fun and laughing, and I get bored if someone talks for too long. But the one thing I got out of this stage was, if I am not myself, the world will not understand who Ruthie is. So one, be yourself. Two, be a ninja at your craft. You guys, ninjas are stealthy. They are excellent. These guys can murder you without even you noticing. They can pass you maybe one just pass and you didn't realize right now. Being a ninja means that whatever you do, so whether you're in arts, whether you're in governance or policy like me, whether you're a photographer like this dude here, it means that you're so good at your job. You're so good at your job, people take notice. A few weeks ago, one of my friends went to Europe, and they were in a board meeting, and you know the way when you're Kenyan, you expect lunch to be food, a starch, a protein, and a veg, because we are healthy people like that. And all she got was cheese and crackers. So she was like, yo, is that a starter? And they're like, that's the food. And poor thing nearly starved to death for those 3 days. So maybe if we are ninjas at our crafts, people will take notice. So it's not just us who take care of other people's needs. It's not that people from other countries come and we put 24-piece place settings, yet we eat with our hands. It will be us. When we go there, they're like, you know what, Ruthie is coming. And this girl is such a ninja at what she does. We need to put ugali and samaki on the menu. When we are excellent, doors open. When doors open, people listen. When people listen, action is done and heard. So ask yourself today, how excellent am I at what I do? So 1, be yourself. 2, be a ninja at your craft. 3, play it the way you want the world to see it. Like Black Panther, we are all superheroes in our own right. When you were born, you had a script in your hand. Mine was written Ruthie, Ndung'u. And it was a blank slate, tabula rasa. And I could do whatever I wanted to do with it. So if I was a superhero, because you all know I like comic books, I'd be Storm, because Storm is half Kenyan and half American. And I would do the coolest storms. Okay, with butterflies and rainbows, but still I'd kick ass. So you play the script the way you want it seen. So if it's Ruthie, unfortunately, if I am late, they will not say Ruthie is late. They will say that African is late. If I suck at my job, they will say, yo, Africans really suck at their job. And if I'm amazing and like butterflies, maybe, just maybe, they'll be like, Africans are the cuddliest, sweetest, most amazing people I've met. And above all that, they really kick us at what they were meant to do. It's unfortunate, but it's true. You, the African, open the door for your fellow African. So if you write your script wrong, then the world thinks that it's all of Africa, and you close a door for your fellow brother and sister. The Bible says that the world is waiting in anticipation for the manifestation of the children of God. It actually says in groaning and anticipation. So I dare say that the world, this time not the world, but Africa, is waiting in groaning and in pains and anticipation for manifestation of its children. You were born with a script, and the only thing it said was your name, your African, your Kenyan, and perhaps your tribe. So if you do not speak out for Mama Africa, who will? Today I leave you asking, who will? Thank you.